Vasity and I will be sharing with you gastrointestinal system. Gastrointestinal system is the only system in the body that is open to the external environment. Why is that so? Dahil mag-start ang other term for gastrointestinal tract is the GI tract. Starting from the mouth, down to the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, down to the last part, the anus. It begins at the mouth and ends at the anus. So it is composed of the mouth, the esophagus, the small intestine, the large intestine, the anus. And the supporting organs are the pancreas, the liver, and the gallbladder. The structures, the tube starts at the mouth. The salivary glands secrete enzymes and lubricants to facilitate swallowing. Aside from that, down to the esophagus, it produces mucus to facilitate movement, the peristaltic movement. Down to the stomach, it is responsible for mechanical and chemical digestion or breakdown. Nagbe-breakdown dito from the food, nagbe-breakdown into vitamins, nutrients, protein, and fat. Down to the small intestine, absorption takes place. Then, the pancreas secretes digestive enzymes that will help the food to break down. Aside from digestive enzymes, the pancreas secretes sodium bicarbonate that neutralizes the small intestine and neutralizes the acid from the stomach. The liver produces bile, which emulsifies fat. The gallbladder is responsible for storing bile. All absorbed nutrients are absorbed by the small intestine. And the largest intestine is responsible for excreting the unnecessary materials from our body. There are 4 layers of the gastrointestinal tract: the mucosa, muscularis mucosa, nerve plexus, and adventitia layer. First is the mucosa. It is the inner lining of the GI tract. It is seen in the mouth. So yung mouth natin, ang layer ng GI tract dyan ay mucosa. But it is made up of epithelial and connective tissue. Next, the muscularis mucosa. It is made up of muscles. Third is the nerve plexus layer, which has 2 layers of nerves, the submucosal and the myenteric. These nerves allow control over movement, secretions, and digestion of the GI tract. The GI tract is also innervated by sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. The sympathetic system is stimulated during flight or fight response. So, mas bumibilis yung activity ng GI tract through sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Pagka nagkakaroon tayo ng stress stimulation, nagkakaroon ng speed up na activity sa GI tract. For example, nagiging anxious yung isang tao sa magaganap sa kanyang competition. Possible na magkaroon ng mabilis na metabolism or na mabilis na activity sa kanyang GI tract, which results to diarrhea or flatulence. Next is the parasympathetic. It is the rest and digest response. Kung kaninang sympathetic, fight or flight, dahil sa stress stimulation, dito naman sa parasympathetic, contractions, decreased sphincter tone, secretions, and etc. The last layer is the adventitia. It is the outer layer of the GI tract. It maintains shape and position. There are 4 major activities of the GI tract. We can remember them by remembering the acronym SADM, which is secretion, absorption, digestion, and motility. The secretion, saliva in mouth prepares food to be bolus, making it slippery. The saliva in the mouth covers the food that we intake. It makes it slippery, and we call it bolus. Next is the mucus produced by the mouth. It protects the epithelial lining. Aside from that, mucus is also produced by the esophagus for the GI tract. Next is the stomach, produces acid to protect the stomach lining. Once bolus enters the mouth, or enters the mouth then down to the stomach produces the gastrin secretion. The gastrin stimulates contraction of the stomach, and it is also the reason why HCl or hydrochloric acid and pepsin are released. Proteins, calcium, alcohol, and caffeine increases gastrin secretion. Aside from that, as bolus enter the small intestine, enzymes are secreted such as chymotrypsin and trypsin. It is responsible for the breakdown of protein. Lipase is responsible for the breakdown of fat. Amylase is responsible for the breakdown of sugar. Next, major activity of the GI tract is the digestion. It starts from the mouth. Enzymes break down sugars and proteins. Then the stomach churns, mixes HCl acid, separating the vitamins, the nutrients, and the minerals and electrolytes of the food. Next is the small intestine. As bolus after moving to the small intestine, from bolus it will turn into chyme. Then bile breaks fat molecules. The next major activity of this tract is the absorption. Absorption is the process of removing water, nutrients, and other elements from the GI tract. The last activity of the GI tract is the motility. Peristalsis, constant wave of contraction that moves from the top to the bottom of the esophagus. The esophagus does peristalsis so that the food will not go back to the mouth, nor the nutrients or the bolus from the stomach. If it reaches the stomach, it will not go back again to the esophagus. Next is swallowing. It is a response to a food in the back of the throat. It stimulates also peristalsis. The small intestine uses segmentation. It is the contraction of one segment to another. Next is the local reflexes. There are 6 local reflexes of the GI tract. The gastroenteric reflex, the gastrocolic reflex, duodenal colic reflex, ileogastric reflex, intestinal reflex, peritoneo-intestinal reflex, rhino-intestinal reflex. The gastroenteric reflex is the stimulation of the stomach by the presence of food or cephalic stimulation, such as seeing food, tasting, thinking about food. This creates a gastroenteric reflex or the stimulation of the stomach. Next reflex is the gastrocolic reflex. It is the stimulation of stomach and increased activity of the colon. Next, or third one, is the duodenal colic reflex. The presence of food stimulates colon activity and mass movement. So, if there is food, it stimulates colon activity. Next is the ileogastric reflex. It is the introduction of chyme to the large intestine, and it slows down stomach activity. Next is the intestinal reflex. The excessive irritation to one section of the small intestine causes the cessation of activity about that section. The peritoneal-intestinal reflex is the irritation of the peritoneum as a result of inflammation leads to the cessation of the GI activity. Last is the rhino-intestinal reflex. It is the irritation or swelling of the renal capsule causes a cessation of movement in the GI tract. That's all for today. I hope you learned something from our discussion. See you next time!